We are the team from Russell County, Virginia, and our experiment was the rate of oxidation in a microgravity environment. And our team leader was Diana Obiambo, McKenna Collins, Jacob Akers, and me, Donna Obiambo. This wonderful picture was taken by Jacob Akers on October 7, 2012, when we had the wonderful, wonderful opportunity to be able to go down to Cape Canaveral and watch the launch, which was like awe-inspiring and beautiful and just great. But with that launch, we were able to be part of history by being part of the very first commercial resupply service to the ISS. And we also made history by being the very first high school out of Virginia to send an experiment up to the ISS, which is very exciting.
For our experiment, we wanted to test how metals, specifically iron and copper, would react if placed in a microgravity environment. These metals were very important to us because both are essential in everyday life. Iron is used in many ways because it has properties that can be changed according to the need of mankind by mixing it with other substances. This can include either metallic or non-metallic substances. Copper conducts heat and electricity better than any other metal except for silver and is part of many metal alloys. Actually, some rocket engines rely on copper and copper alloys because of their reusability.
One of the things we were interested in was our experiment relevant as a daily occurrence on Earth while being important to space and space travel as well. Another thing we were interested in was also a life-sustaining environment, an environment which had oxygen and water. Also, besides looking into having a microgravity environment, we also thought about having the life-sustaining environment as well. Another thing we looked into was we were looking to the future of galactic mining. So basically, galactic mining is exploiting raw materials from asteroids and other minor planets. And also this material could be taken back to Earth for whatever usage, maybe research or using it as a resource, or used for space construction. And what we were curious on was that if these raw materials, specifically metal materials, were exposed to an environment which would lead to oxidation, how would that look like in a microgravity environment?
The materials that could be mined or extracted include iron, nickel, and titanium, which we assume would be used for construction either here on Earth or out there in maybe space colonization in the future. Actually, for our experiment, we chose a type 3 FME, and we filled one short ampule with 0.44 grams of iron fillings, and the other short ampule with 0.44 grams of copper turnings. The procedure for our experiment was to be that it would be in orbit for a day, and then they would break both ampules and then shake the whole FME for 65 seconds so all of the contents could be like thoroughly mixed. But when we got our experiment back, we found out that only the iron was oxidized. But we didn't really worry about it because we were like, oh, well, you know, we have like 12 ground truths, and surely out of all of these ground truths, like one of them is going to be just like the one on the ISS. And that didn't happen, and we had to do another ground truth at a later time.
So we all know what oxidation is. It's rust. It's what turns iron orange and copper green. Well, on a more atomic level, it's whenever electrons leave your metal and go to oxygen, which we could actually observe with the metals whenever they were returned to us.
Because of the incorrect activation, the data we gathered was inconclusive. We're going for a reflight, and this reflight is scheduled on mission 3. The way we gather our data is strictly qualitative. We use visual evidence of oxidation, such as looking at the red in iron and the green in copper. And thanks to laboratory optical service, we were handed a microscope that was able to do this.
We would like to thank all of our sponsors, including Russell County, Alpha Natural Resources, Crutchfield, the Virginia Space Grant Consortium, and Verizon. And also, we really want to thank Miss Jane Carter, who unfortunately could not be with us, and Miss Janie Pertee and William Perkins.
Thank you so much, Russell County, Virginia.